The flame is possibly unique amongst all creation. Everything falls to earth eventually. Everything is drawn to the earth. Displaced rocks regularly tumble down mountainsides and cliffs and gather at the foot. Even mighty trees fall to earth. All natural things continue to exist by a sort of exertion, a struggle against the natural course of things, a daily effort. Even a cloud falls to the earth in rain. Rain is a cloud that has relinquished the struggle and fallen. In the ensuing weeks following its collapse, it finds its way descending all the time down to the sea, where the miracle, prosaically named the rain cycle, begins again. The water will be lifted high with the same result of falling back to earth. This morning I walked into the garden, and there on the grass was a dead bumblebee, his pollen baskets full, but he'd run out of steam. A life of defying the natural law, of triumphing over the persistent pull of the earth, finally concluded with the inevitable, falling back to earth. Mighty oak or humble bee all bear testimony to this unalterable fact, and so glorify God in the process, as all things do. It is why the wisdom of our ancestors taught us to repeat the sacred scripture at every death. The Lord has given, the Lord has taken. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job 1:21. But the flame alone tells a different story. Amongst all created things, the flame alone aspires upward. It never wearies and falls earthward like everything else. It is either here and aspiring, or it isn't here. There is no in-between, no lying down and soft fall to the earth where we could pick up the dead flame. It leaves no residue, no body, nothing of the natural. The perfect metaphor, therefore, for the spirit of man. All things created allude to something beyond. The entire creation has spiritual connotations, and the flame alludes to the human spirit. The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord. Proverbs 20:27. What does this mean? The body is of this earth, earthy. The name Adam derives from Adamah, earth. Not so the spirit. The spirit is, to put it bluntly, not of this world. The Hebrew is ruach, which means breath or wind. The Greek is pneuma, which means the same. Like the earth, the body will one day lose its daily struggle and return to the dust from which it came, like the oak or bee. But the sleepless eremite, the spirit, aspires upwards, yearning to return to its home, its place of origin, which is God. It never tires of the quest, night or day, waking or sleeping. The spirit will never be satisfied until it is allowed to flee back to its source. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. Psalm 42:1. If the Spirit is allowed its way in our lives, we would all be taken to be with God. Alas, the body is insistent, and for the majority of mankind, the body takes the captive spirit along the broad way that leads to destruction. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. When the body submits to him, the spirit rejoices to aspire to God as it was always yearning to do, and the end result is, enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Matthew 25:23. My spirit is not at rest, not fully and finally. Daily I aspire like this restive flame, the very shape of which suggests that it is not at home. It wants to be elsewhere, like my spirit. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Psalm 55, 6. Just recently, I had another one of those times in which I came a little closer to the end of my resources. Like Moses, I hoped that God would not let me see my own wretchedness, as I was faced with a steep hill of difficulties that made me wonder if I'd surmount it in the face of my limitations of time and energy. And I sat down, so to speak, and lacking any appropriate Bible text or even the words to pray, I prayed enough. I was happy to discover that when there was nothing I could do or needed to do, my spirit, like this flame, continued to aspire upward, to be with him. Whether I would be victorious in the challenge ahead or fail in the trying. My spirit followeth hard after thee, O Lord. Psalm 63, 8. One final thought. The tiny but persistent flame suggests that an act performed for the love of God and others is a precious light in this world. As Jesus said, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Matthew 5:16. Shakespeare agreed. How far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world.